This one here is again in the grove of trees, and it's a Norway spruce. And this was our Christmas tree, and I want to say 3 years back, I don't know, 2015 maybe, was our Christmas tree, possibly 2016. Okay, over here right next to it, we have some other, I think that's a Douglas fir. Again, this here will be a redwood cedar if it makes it. And then right over here, we have, so this is also a California, so it's a California redwood or redwood sequoia, or sometimes they call it a California sequoia, California redwood, lots of different names. So we have one here, established last summer, and it looks like, right after the winter, which was about a month and a half ago, they brown because they're not temperature tolerant as when they're young, and so it's hard to tell, but they look like they're greening up, so they've survived. Here's a good example. This is a redwood, one that I planted 2 summers back, so that would have been 2017, and look at it, how it browned. And if you'd have seen it, if I'd have filmed this a little earlier, it was completely brown. You wouldn't think it was going to make it, but now you can see the green tips and everything. And so this California redwood's going to make it. Over here is one, again, of the 3 of the corner incense cedars we have. And over here we have this tree, believe it or not, is been around. It should be a lot taller, but it's been growing slow. So it's a redwood sequoia, and it amazes me. Last summer it slowly grew, and it's slowly growing. It's counter to what redwood sequoias. They usually will grow 3 to 4 feet, and for some reason he's bucking the trend. Here's a redwood sequoia over here also. This one is an example of where the deer around here are very destructive. I don't know if you can see where. So I had to cut off. They rub and they strip the bark, so I had to re-cut off. I think this will reestablish as a main, and then I'll just cut the other ones around it. It'll survive. It's those destructive deer. These are quaking Colorado aspen. Maybe you can hear the leaves. So in the wind, they make that quaking sound. And this actually was originally in our home in Northeast Tacoma. I ripped it out, brought it here, and then you can see the side bark damaged by the deers again. It's a recurring theme. And I also planted additional 12 or 14, whatever, here of Colorado aspens, quaking Colorado aspens, and they've been here, actually been out for 3 years. They should be about 20 feet tall because they grow really fast, but this is like candy to deer. They love the leaves and they love the bark. And no matter what I do, they will go around and get in, and they will strip it down. This one here, for example, was about 10 feet tall, and I had to cut it down because of the damage took. Here's another this is my oldest of the California sequoias, and this one is, I protected it really well with posts, but with that, a deer still made it in, stripped some bark off, but believe it or not, there's enough bark left on there that it has survived and it's taken off. And so I've reinforced it and protected it, and what is it, maybe 10 feet, and by the end of the summer it'll be at 14. This is one of the, I planted this one about 2014 or so. Again, this is the incense cedar of the third one in the third corner. We got ponderosa pines here. Ponderosa pines, deer love these, and so all of them, they've been stalled, and now I got it down where I protect them. They will eat the tops, and once they eat the top of this, it stalls it, and it almost kills it. It takes almost 2 summers for it to recover before it takes off again. So these, hopefully, the trick is to get them growing tall enough so they can't eat the tops off, and I'm almost there. So it's been a tough lesson because you think you protect it, and they will rip this stuff. I've had to really secure things. It's amazing. Even when you think you have it secured, they find a way. So I had originally 4 ponderosa pines. There's one down there you can see. Also, now I just have 3 because one they just completely killed out. And and then finally over here I have a redwood. So another redwood cedar. California sequoia or California red, and this is one that I planted, and I didn't think it was going to make it, but now it's showing signs of green. And so typically, what I found out, and believe me, what I haven't said is there's a lot of areas. I've gone through 3 generations to get, so this is a lot of these are my 3rd generation cedars, because the first 2 I wasn't smart enough to protect them from deers and they would just destroy them. This is one my kids laugh about. It's an acorn tree, and it's, I figured out so deer eat everything. And these are, when you snip the ends off, they don't recover forever. And so I finally protected that, and that one's been in there for like 8 years. It should be really tall, big, massive tree, and it looks like a bonsai. We just passed this. This is an acorn tree from Washington, D.C. We grew it from its seeds that we got about 6 months ago or so when we were in Washington last year during the summer. And so I got this a year ago. And hopefully it'll make it and grow to a big acorn tree.